Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Good. Is that all? Is that all we doing? I said, good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Good. Amazing. Expecting the orientation. An equitable society. An efficient society. For some odd reason, envisioning a world in which society is either equitable or efficient is a rather daunting task. Picturing a society that is both equitable and efficient seems nearly impossible. Now, why is that? It's because visualizing an ideal world requires a strong foundation for which our current society lacks. Now, I'm not saying that we have no foundation. Leaders throughout much of our past and present have forged paths that are leading us to a better tomorrow. But it is difficult to describe an equitable society when we struggle with baseline equality. It is an unyielding task to talk shop about efficiency in society when we are spilling the oil deficiency across both land and sea. So what does it take? It takes kindness. Helping others along your journey goes a long way. It takes moderation. There is no reason for the top 1% of the world to hold $38.7 trillion as of 2023. It takes healthy participation. Letting others make the decisions for you at every step of the way without sharing your voice is fueling societal incompetence. It takes being open. There are virtually millions of ways to do something and literally billions of people who may be able to do it. It takes awareness. Understanding what is happening in your community and how you can be part of the solution. It takes education. The more we learn about the world, cultures, history, and more, the more we are able to think effectively and make measured decisions. It takes all of these things and more that actively exist today. If they didn't exist, I would not have the words to describe to you what it takes. The issue, rather, is that they exist in capacities that are not interconnected in a way that creates the practicum of a peak society. You want to know what happens when society starts firing on all cylinders? Close your eyes for a moment, and I'll tell you. Picture this. Children, during the years of their primary education, they have the opportunity to participate in any extracurricular activity that they choose to explore, barring any geographic obstacles. Every sport, every art, every interdisciplinary program open to kids at a fair price that does not discriminate between socioeconomic status. Picture a mixed economy where there is no such thing as lower class income because citizens are either comfortable or very comfortable. Picture the idea of homelessness being a figment of the past because every individual and or family has a roof over their head 365 days a year. The term mass incarceration struggling to exist in terminology because incarceration is at an all-time low. Envision a near form of democracy for our political governance that is so steadfast, corruption cannot occur, and decisions are made in a timely manner. Most importantly, envision walking into any room filled with extraordinary people from every facet of the globe. People who are unique in every identifiable measure, culture, upbringing, language, expertise, but joined together by a common goal: to live a great today and create a better tomorrow. Now open your eyes and look around. Rooms just like this are what I see for our future. So now that we know what it takes and what we're looking for, how do we get there? For the education piece, we remove the classification of schools. I'm from Philadelphia and we have many types of schools. Think charter, private, public, magnet, and Catholic would be the most notable. Going to one of those types of schools, it labels you. and many of them can be detrimental in this modern society. Instead of the assumption that a public school kid had to make it out the mud or is a bad kid by virtue of their type of institution, you break down the barriers and have simply schools, a place for children to get their education and learn how to contribute to the world. The way we create an ideal mixed economy is by not placing the onus on maximizing profits or allowing the rise of private corporations that can influence more than government regulation allows. By not allowing companies to take hold of entire industries and mandating a fair wage distribution, regardless of company size, we'll have less companies that are completely dominant, but rather serve their constituents while allowing regular people to maintain their livelihoods. We achieve the eradication of homelessness by accelerating the current work of shelter programs in places like Sacramento, California, and scale that while allowing for those people to re-enter the job market and receive help for any neurodiversity and or physical adversity they may be experiencing. On the front of government, politics are tough and slow, but it starts with increased accountability of those who hold office, current and future. To the point of mass incarceration, in many parts, once again, it's fueled by private corporations paying prisons huge payouts to having a threshold of inmate occupancy. We can solve this by not sending people, especially people of color, to prison just for the plot. And finally, we create more rooms like the one we are in by reinforcing at every step of the way that diverse voices lead to healthy choices. At the end of the day, we aren't solving all of society's issues today, nor are we going to have a total overhaul tomorrow. What we are doing, however, is painting the canvas for the type of society we strive to achieve. Only after that can we take the next step to be better people, to educate others, to grow for not only ourselves, but for those around us, to have positive influences on the world around us, and most importantly, to move with respect. Many of us have respect, but to move with respect is to live your life in such a way that if you breathe your last breath today, the world would indeed be a better place. Thank you, everyone.